Hello, hello. Apologize for my late start here. This is kind of embarrassing, but it happens. I'm still getting used to this live stream stuff. Um, I was doing the live stream and it turns out I didn't click the live button. So I'm really sorry for the late arrival. Anyways, today we are going through some huge capital projects that is happening in the Wenatchee area. Um, Wenatchee is about to boom, and we are starting to get a lot of money invested into the area. I'm not going to talk a ton about real estate and real estate developments. This is more about what is coming to the area and how this area is transforming. There's a lot of multi-million dollar projects right now that are just breaking ground. You may have heard me say in some other videos about Wenatchee that there isn't a strong job market. And that's true, but there's so much coming and there's a lot of opportunity. So I hope that throughout this live stream, you will get a chance to see how much opportunity and how much the Wenatchee area is changing. So I've got a lot to show you. I'm going to show you a little bit of the locations of these projects, what's groundbreaking, and what is in some of the planning phases. So let me just pull up my screen so I can share with you. So the first, let's see here. Sorry, give me a second. The first project that I want to show you, where are you? Is the Majestic. Okay. So this is a huge project that just broke ground. It's been in the planning phases for a long time. And this is going to be on Mission, between Mission and Wenatchee Ave. I'll show you where. So we have on the Wenatchee Ave side, these were old commercial buildings that were all torn down just within the last month. Project is just getting started. And on the Wenatchee Ave side, they are going to have a couple of commercial buildings with restaurants in them. And then this little brick building in the center, this is the old historic jail. So it's pretty cool that they kept that piece, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. So here's Wenatchee Ave. And this is pretty much the block that got ripped down. So right here is where that commercial space is going to be. And then this is all going to be a huge Class A apartment complex. And then these buildings right here, they are some of the older commercial buildings that are staying. So I'll give you a little bit of sight here. So here's some more renderings of what that commercial space, what they're envisioning for it. So restaurants, rooftop bars, which would be pretty cool. We don't have a rooftop bar per se in the Wenatchee area. So this is what the apartment complex is going to look like. Like I said, it's going to be a Class A, so higher end finishes. This is the same developer who did Riverside 9, if you're familiar with that project. So this is, so the streets, Wenatchee Ave, also last fall, there was a public survey. They are going to be redoing a couple blocks of that, kind of cleaning it up, if you will. They're going to be narrowing it from 2 lanes to 1 lane. And did I say that there was a public survey asking, the community what they thought that vision should look like? And so this is kind of a little bit on that. Okay, let me show you the next project we have going on here. So this one's not super exciting, but it is a large dollar amount that just got invested to the area. Northwest Natural Gas teamed up with Waste Management, and Northwest Natural Gas did a $43 million project where they are harvesting the gases that are coming off the landfill, which the idea of this, I think, is pretty cool to be capturing that. They've got a 20-year contract with Waste Management to be doing this. And this project is said to provide natural gas for about 10,000 homes. And I just want to point out that not all of the, it's not meant to stay particularly in the Wenatchee area. It's going to fill this pipeline. It's going to feed into this pipeline of Moses Lake, Yakima. But that's a big investment for the area. Okay. The Wenatchee Convention Center. There was, I don't know what the dollar amount was on this project, but this is another big one. The Convention Center. This ground broke last fall, I believe, or last summer, and the Convention Center is getting a huge expansion. So right now, the Convention Center, kind of where this blue wall is about where it stops. So all of this is expansion, and then they're redoing the entire patio phase. And I want to show you this on Google Maps. Let's see here. So here's that the Majestic apartment complex that I was just showing you. You can see it's an entire majority of a block. And so the Convention Center is right up here, and you can see Google Earth has already had a shot of some of that dirt work. So this is our Convention Center. This is our Performing Arts Center, really. And then back here is the Convention Center. And so that's going to be expanding out this area. So the face of Wenatchee Avenue is going to be changing quite a bit. Okay. Next project. This is a small project, but I wanted to share because it really shows there is a lot of our old businesses on Wenatchee Ave and kind of that whole downtown core that is getting complete facelift. This was the old Wenatchee World building, and an investor bought it maybe about 5 years ago now. Anyway, but he has redone the face of it. Right now we have Pinnacle Beer Works has just gone in. They've got a really nice little outdoor seating area here and then indoor seating. This business in the middle, there's a sign that just went up, and I can't remember what it is, but there's something that's already leased that spot. And then this right here is it's just moved in, is a virtual golf. So that's kind of small, but a lot of fun. There's a lot of change coming to the downtown area. Okay, let's see what the next project is. Okay, the YMCA. So the YMCA, this project was, I'm going to play this video and talk at the same time. So the YMCA, this was privately funded, and also there was some grants, and our PUD or Port District put money into this project. One thing that's really cool about our Port District is we make a lot of money selling power to other areas, and that money comes back to the Wenatchee and East Wenatchee communities in the forms of grants for large projects like this. There's a couple of other big projects that are in planning phases, and I'm going to show you that. They also help provide, the parks, the waterfront parks. They helped with the Pybus Market. So a lot of money gets pumped back into the community from that. So this is going to be a huge improvement to the old YMCA. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I don't remember if I said this. This is actually where the old PUD building used to be. It's kind of an eyesore on Wenatchee Ave, and the YMCA was able to purchase a good chunk of that property, and they're putting in this facility. So there's going to be a lot of community space in it, which is what they're showing now, some meeting rooms, You're going to see childcare facilities with both indoor and outdoor areas for that childcare. So this is something that's fairly innovative for the area. They're going to be doing unisex bathrooms. So instead of male, female, they have these private changing rooms with the lockers in the center. There's going to be a couple of different pools in this facility. There's going to be the more shallow pool for children. You can see a small hot tub there, and then also a lap pool. Right now, the Wenatchee area just has one community pool in East Wenatchee, and another indoor pool is going to be a real benefit to the community. And then upstairs from the whole pool area, there's going to be a fitness area where there's going to be a weight room, a cardio room, a fitness studio, and then you see this track that will track across the upstairs area. And then this video is about to, and then there'll be a gym that you can look down onto. So pretty cool, a pretty cool expansion to the Wenatchee area. Okay, so let's take a look at the next project here. I want to show you. There are a couple of, before we get to the really big projects, there's a couple of road work projects that are going in, and these are pretty significant to the area. And the reason they're significant is because they're adding bridges. So not across the Columbia. We really want another bridge across the Columbia, but this is, so when you come into Wenatchee through this direction, like if you're coming from Seattle, you're going to be coming through in this direction. And right here, this bridge that goes over into Wenatchee, it gets pretty congested. And there's two ways to go here. So you can either go over this bridge and get into downtown Wenatchee, or you're going to go through this intersection and cross this larger bridge to get to East Wenatchee or up north to Chelan. This whole colorful spot right here, this is going to be the road expansion, and they are groundbreaking right now for phase 1. Phase 2 will then be this part that crosses this bridge here. And what this is going to do is this is going to allow anybody coming from the north side, or from East Wenatchee to have another route, a second route into the downtown Wenatchee area. So it's an important project. We also have the main road that goes into East Wenatchee is being widened as well. So when you see large road projects like this, you know an area is getting ready to really expand. We're expecting some influx of new people to the area. Okay, next let's talk about Microsoft. Microsoft is always a big project. And you know what? I'm going to actually talk about Microsoft with a map so I can show you what's going on. And it's not just Microsoft, it's data centers in general. So here we go. So data centers, all of our data centers right now are pretty much coming in. Here is, I did that a little fast. So you have downtown Wenatchee, you have East Wenatchee over here. Out here is the airport, and you can see this is where a lot of our data centers are right now. They're going out into these areas. We have quite a few data centers also this in Quincy, and people will commute from Wenatchee to Quincy to work in those data centers, but we have a lot more coming. So there's more planned for the Wenatchee area that have been approved. Before they put these plants in, they're putting in huge like power substations. So I know that they're putting some in right now in the East Wenatchee area, which means more data centers. But here is the newest development. So all of those data centers that are currently happening are in Douglas County. Chelan County is now in the beginning of putting up some data centers. So from Wenatchee, these data centers are out here in Malaga. From Wenatchee to Malaga, it's about 10 minutes on the high side to get from down the core of downtown to out here. So it's not very far out. And these data centers are all going right here. Right, they've got the power station in, and they are starting construction on 3 data centers going in right here. Microsoft just purchased, I believe, 500 acres right here for expansion of putting out even more. They are doing the groundwork right now, putting in larger water pipes. These data centers take a lot of water for their cooling systems. They're also putting in a sewage plant, if you will, or a treatment, not sewage, a treatment plant for this water as well in the Malaga area. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like the community is going to be able to connect into it. And I say unfortunately because Malaga, there is quite a bit of land out here to be built on. However, there's no sewer out here. So everybody needs to be on septic, which means that the lot sizes need to be a little bit bigger. That's good for those that are looking for a little bit more of a lot than what you're seeing some of the other builders do closer to Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, where there is sewer available. Okay, so these data centers, they're important not just because they are now going into Chelan County and the amount of tax revenue that Chelan County is going to be receiving, but the really big development is Halion. Did I say that right? Halion is looking at purchasing this, and this is Halion is a fusion company, and they're putting in the world's first producing fusion plant. I believe it's going into Malaga. They've been in the community a lot, and there's some news articles saying that it's been announced that they're moving forward with it, and then there's some news articles saying they're still talking about it. So I don't know which is true. But anyways, this is the site that they're looking at. This is Alcoa. This is a very old aluminum plant that is no longer in operation. It is being torn down as we speak. What makes this very attractive for a lot of reasons for this company? I should mention that Microsoft and OpenAI are the financial backers for this project. But what makes this location very desirable for this company is not only maybe the proximity to some of these data centers that are in the area, but it is the Wenatchee's amount of energy and the source of the grid. We have such a large electrical grid, and so it will allow this fusion plant to not only supply to these data centers, but also to sell off other energy. So this is all, and here's where I talk about where there's not maybe a ton of high-end jobs at this point, but they're coming. This is all coming like pretty quickly. And these aren't necessarily tech jobs. So a lot of these data centers, they need plumbers, they need HVAC, they need security. All over the board, there is going to be some big opportunity for those areas. So, okie dokie. Let's take a look at what we've got next. So Here we go. Okay. So this project has not been, it's in a, you can see, it's in a, sorry, I'm losing my words. It's in a, they're reviewing it. They haven't fully decided what this is going to look like. So we're going to have a regional sports complex. I know we're going to get a regional sports complex of some size somewhere. They haven't determined the location yet. But the reason that I have a pretty good thought that they're going to be putting this in is, one, Wenatchee Valley is centrally located in Washington, and we get a lot of different sports tournaments in the area. And a couple weeks ago, we had our sports tourism representative, I guess is what you'd say, speak at a meeting I was at. And basically he said the fields that we have, whether that be soccer or baseball or anything turf, even our basketball courts, they are just overused. And so we're in big need for this. And we know that it would bring a lot to the community. So anyways, still in planning phases, but this is probably coming down the pipeline pretty quickly. Okay, so we've got another project that is also being looked at, and this is another one where the Port District, let's see if I can find the right file here. Oh yeah, this project, this is the Ports Trades District, and I want to share this video because we talk a lot about big businesses, Microsoft data centers coming to the area, but the Wenatchee area is also very concerned and proactive about the small businesses, and this is a really cool project that has also just ground broke this fall, and I wanted.
One of the most beautiful things that I see coming out of this is that for the first time in a long time, we are going to be creating a place that is home for those entrepreneurs who might not always have had the opportunity to be able to build and create a business for their future.
The goal of the Trades District project is to provide affordable production space for startup and expanding businesses in our region. We often hear about people operating out of their homes, out of storage units, even out of their vehicles. So there's a big barrier to getting into a commercial storefront, and we're looking to reduce that barrier by providing this affordable space.
What the Port hopes to accomplish with this project is truly to give an opportunity to some of our underserved communities to grow. Our port in particular is very strong on economic development, and sometimes the underserved, well, more than sometimes, underserved communities just don't get these opportunities.
The idea is to bring trades in here so they can get a leg up and get started, and then eventually progress, build their business, and then move to some other place. It turned into a story of turning lemons into lemonade.
About the time that the cryptocurrency craze hit the country, a company called Gigawatt, under the ownership of a man named Dave Carlson, was the largest crypto miner in the U.S.
They had built these pods, the idea again to generate cryptocurrency. Then, however, the investors pulled out and left the developer high and dry. So what happened is he went bankrupt, or Gigawatt went bankrupt. So it went into bankruptcy court. We're kind of waiting to see what was going to happen. And it turned out that the bankruptcy court, the judge, awarded us all the pods. So it was like, well, thanks. Now, what do we do with them?
So I believe the vision originally came about through conversations with some of our partners, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Cafe, and then just the port itself looking for ways different ways to support some of our underserved communities.
Since I've been on the board a very long time, my primary interest and concern is to see that there's opportunities for young people in the community. We're starting to grow fairly quickly technologically, and the opportunity for new and startup businesses is really pretty high. It looks like we have a pretty rosy economic forecast for both Chelan and Douglas counties.
So the really cool part about this project is small businesses if you've been in business under 5 years, you can get into these, and they're subsidizing the rents for these businesses to help them get on their feet. So just something I think is a really cool project. This project is happening up by, I guess it says right there, up by the airport. And I'm really excited to see how this project turns out. Okay, but there's more. There's so many projects going on here. Okay, let me see if I can find. Oh, this is the riverfront. So we have the Apple Capitol Loop Trail, which it's a 10-mile loop that goes around the Columbia River. And a big chunk of that, which this is once again Wenatchee Ave, here is where that trail runs along the river right now. And they're doing a bunch of improvements. So there's different phases of what this entire project is going to look like. But I can show you where they're at right now. So they've just expanded, they've just created this area where we have an additional spot to access the Columbia. There's already 2 boat launches, part of this park. So we have this water splash pad that is going in right now. That is part of this phase. This is not part of this phase. So we'll see this piece coming in the future. We already kind of have this, I don't know what that is, that thing there. And so that expansion. So this is part of the expansion that is happening right now. They're putting in that's not happening yet. Let's see here. They are putting in another playground structure and a splash pad and an undercover pavilion. So that's all happening right now. It's all torn up. So a small project, but once again, how the area is changing. Okay. Okay, this is another Port District project that is in feasibility right now. So our Port District owns a lot of the really ugly old buildings downtown. So here's what this building looks like now. This is really close to Pybus Market. And here's what they want to do with it. They want to put a crafts district in, which will have different, here you go, distilleries, food trucks, artists, glass blowers, an art school, music store, theater. So this is a project that they haven't ground broke yet, but it is in feasibility, and it's one that I am excited for because it's such a cool space that they've got here. Okay. And let's see, I want to show you one more project. This is a big project that has been it's been going on for a long time. And there was just another community meeting about it not too long ago. Let's see. Yep. Just a few weeks ago. And this is an expansion of Mission Ridge. I don't know when this is going to be groundbreaking, and I don't really know where they're at with it, but they've been working with all of the agencies that they need to put this in. So this is going to be a village that Mission Ridge is trying to expand. So right now, This is not the base of Mission Ridge. Mission Ridge is off this direction. And they are planning, I'm going to get to the photos to show you kind of what they're wanting this to look like. Oh, let me get to the right slide here. I'm sorry, this is not the slides that we want. Well, let's just do this. I'm going to just pull it up really quickly. Mission Ridge expansion. And let's see if this has. Okay, let's take a look. So here's Mission Ridge, and what they're saying that they want to do is they want to go up and over the ridge to the other side and put this expansion in. And it is a lofty goal. It's a lot. So they're looking at adding in 6. Here we go. Here's kind of an idea of what they want it to look like. 621 multifamily units, whether that's a condo or duplex, 275 standalone homes, and approximately 110,000 square feet of commercial. Don't know when this is coming, but this would be quite the development for our little Ma and Pa ski area. So there you have it. That is some of the very big projects that is coming to the area. And like I said, this area is changing a lot. It is about to boom. So anyways, if you have any questions about these projects, I kind of skimmed over them briefly because I just am not in the field to know them very in depth. But anyways, in 2 weeks, I'm going to have Janice Brown on, and we are going to be talking about ADUs. Washington State, Chelan County, and Douglas County are doing some pretty cool stuff with it, with the new zoning laws, and we will be talking a little bit about what it looks like to put an ADU on your property. So thank you so much for joining, and if you have any questions, make sure to reach out. All right, till next week. See ya.